Doing a video, a follow-up video here to a bridge under construction video we just did a little bit ago. So basically right here there was a bunch of steel girders laying out, and we got a video on our channel talking about that. Right here is where the crane was. So let me go down here. You can see that this is the span sets that weren't even in place yet. These guys right here, the big ones are going across. And the span sets were on the other side. So this is where the crane was. And this is where the steel girders were. So you can see the work that they've done. You can see the brand new tarred road and the new guardrail system up. Hopefully they did this right. I'm not sure. A lot of times they put in the guardrails wrong, I've noticed on a lot of different videos online about that, because it's more dangerous if they do it wrong than it was if there probably wasn't any in the first place. But down here, I'm kind of standing where the steel girders were. But you can see it's a totally different style of bridge than the one that was here before. And they made it higher for sure. Like they raised the road up on both sides. That road is up at least 3 feet from where it used to be with the old bridge. And then look at the rock they put in. This is some big rock. This riprap to help stop rain runoff, and also if the water gets really high enough that it didn't really wipe out the bridge. What it did was it just wiped out the outsides. It went high enough that it tried to go around the outsides, and now this is a whole different design where it can't do that. But there's a building over here I'll show you in a second too that gets flooded out if this water gets too high. And I think this gets high enough every couple of years that they have to worry about it. So when they decided to redo this bridge, they did it right. Look at the size of these holders here, and you can see right in the center of this, you can see the seam. So this is a short span set. I'm going to just call it a span set, but it's a concrete girders. And then the ones that are going across here are the ones that I got in the old video that were laying on the side of the road. And then of course short ones over here again. And I was hoping they'd put up some sort of like kind of cool old arched steel, construction instead of this brand new looking concrete, because we're way out in the middle of the country and it's got kind of a certain vibe down here. And all of a sudden you got this brand new inner city kind of concrete bridge, which is kind of a bummer. But what are they right over here? End bridge. I guess that's the end of that was supposed to go towards the bridge. That's funny that they just wrote it on there with a Sharpie. Over here too, they got some notes on that and stuff. Let's go back up to the top. Well, let me go underneath here real quick and I'll show you the riprap. So they got a drain right here that's coming out from up there probably. And then you can see how they did I'm surprised they didn't do riprap right along here too, because if the water gets high enough, it could start, digging into that. It's kind of hard to see because it's underneath the shadows there, but I'll go ahead and walk underneath here. It's too low. I'm going to go up and over. So there you go. Let's jump up to the top. Back up on top. And on this side, they've actually put in a drain. They didn't bother on that side because the road is kind of leaning this way, going downhill this way. Put a little drain in with some riprap down here to catch the water, slow it down, and then it's just going to bleed out into that field. Now, there used to be a building over here. I thought it was at this location, but maybe I'm thinking of a different bridge that I was going to say, gets flooded every time the water gets high enough, but I don't see it. Let's see if I see it down here. Nope, no building, so I must be thinking of another bridge location that we did a video on. But look at this tree they had to take down here. Looks like they took that down a while ago. But they left up this orange stuff. I wonder if they're going to come back from that once. It looks like they've got some sort of, how they kind of blow green, kind of mossy looking stuff, and it grows grass, and it has a grassy look while the grass starts to grow up. That is different. I'm going to go up and show you that in a second. That's a runoff track right there. But looks like they did some sort of blow on top of this. I'll do a close-up in a second. Then they got this to stop the water from going that way. So if water comes down, ends up going into this, it kind of drains over here and ends up going down the hill here. But Here's another side. They got holes. I didn't notice that on the other side. Maybe it wasn't on the other side. But they put holes all the way along this for the water runoff. So, because the road's leaning this way, they probably didn't bother putting holes on the other rail there. And just put them on this side. And then, here you go. Every low part in the bridge, you can see it kind of goes down and back up. Even though it's straight on top with the actual tar. They put the holes here for water runoff from the middle of the bridge, and then the water that's coming down the hill from over here, oops, sorry about my finger there, guys. Water coming down the hill here ends up going right down here. I'm surprised they didn't put a riprap trail right down here, because this will end up getting eaten out, unless there's a drain. There might be a big drain underneath that rock that we can't see that comes out down here. And I'm going to watch out for poison ivy here. I'm not seeing anything here. I don't know if you guys are. Let's take a look from the other side and see if we see anything down there. Let's take a look at this grass real quick. Before we get over to that though, look at, this is the stuff I'm talking about. See this? It's kind of like a, oh, it was green. Okay, so you could see it's just got rain on it. See how it's turning green once I move it with my finger there? That's the stuff. They blow it on with a big machine, big blower, and it's got fertilizer and seed in it of some sort, so as it rains, the grass will just start growing up. But in this section, it looks like they actually put down some netting and some hay, and they probably, maybe this grass that's coming up is actually from that green seed stuff I just showed you, but because this has netting and hay put on top of it, it's growing a little faster and a little bit better than this outside. This will eventually, when it gets enough rain, will start to grow the grass, and it'll end up looking like that sooner or later. Let's jump over and go to the other side of this bridge. Here's a good shot up of the drainage coming all the way down the road. Look at that. They did a good job with that. It's looking good. I hear a car coming, so let me put it on pause. We'll jump to the other side of the bridge. So yeah, there's no holes on this side, but there are holes on this side for drainage. And as you can see, even though we could see how at the seam here, at the seam right here, it bowed up from underneath. You could see that they just made it all flat and tarred it real flat up on top, so there's no bowing up here at all. And they put a nice bike path on here, even though the roads around here have zero shoulders. That's one of the things down here in the south, is they don't spend a lot of money on shoulders. But they do have like grassy areas, like you can see the car sitting up there on the side of the road. They do have grassy areas to pull over at when you need to. But they don't bother with shoulders. I think they should. I think it'd be nice to have a shoulder about this big right here on all these roads. But you don't get taxed this heavy either, you know. So that's the compromise. So I was just looking down there. I didn't see a drain, but let's go ahead and jump down. Once again, there is no drainage thing on this side like there is on this. They built the same thing on this side with the big riprap, and I was thinking that underneath this rock pile here, you might have some sort of culvert drain where the water would run over to the edge of the stream. Creek. This is actually a creek. They call it a creek. And the same thing here. They didn't bother putting the riprap walk all the way up to the wall. And then, but here they ended, you could see on the other side, the pillars go all the way down to the stream height. And the rock drops down here, the pillars are higher. I didn't notice that when I was on the other side, but I'm seeing it now. So they only come down a certain amount, and then the pillars are there. But see, that's where I was a second ago, and I don't see any drainage ports along here with culverts coming out. So there is no drain that goes, so they're going to expect the water, the runoff, to go down, get in the middle of that grass over there and just kind of seep its way through and come down along the shoreline here. So that's basically it, guys. This is the final product of the bridge build out. Hope you guys dig it. Please check our channel. I'll put a link to the bridge build right there. So check that real quick. If you want to see our channel, go there. The bridge build will be there, but I'll also put up at the top corner up here, you'll see a little link to go to earlier in the video, probably halfway through. There's probably a link that'll take you to the actual bridge before it began construction and stuff. So again, thanks for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.